There's a game that has been played for over 1,500 years. Kings and queens have played it. Generals have studied it. Philosophers have written about it. It's a game of 64 squares and 32 pieces. But beneath the surface, it's something much more. It's a mirror, a training ground, a teacher that doesn't speak in words but in moves, in consequences, in silence. Chess. Most people learn chess as a game, a way to pass time, a competition to win. But the deepest wisdom of chess has nothing to do with winning. It has everything to do with how you move through the world, how you make decisions, how you handle pressure, how you respond when everything falls apart, and how you build something new from the ruins. School taught you facts. It taught you formulas. It taught you to memorize and repeat. But school never taught you the lessons that chess teaches. The lessons about sacrifice, about patience, about thinking 10 moves ahead, not because you can predict the future, but because you understand that every action has a consequence. Today, we're going to explore what chess teaches you about life, the hidden wisdom on the board, the truths that no classroom ever offered, but that shape the difference between merely existing and truly living. The first lesson: every move has a consequence. In chess, you cannot take back a move. Once your hand leaves the piece, the decision is made. You live with it. This is the first and most fundamental lesson chess teaches. Every choice matters. In school, you were taught that mistakes are corrected with a red pen. You erase, you rewrite, you try again. In life, some mistakes can be corrected, but many cannot. The words you speak, the trust you break, the opportunity you let slip. Chess teaches you to slow down, to consider, to ask yourself, what happens after I make this move? Not just now, but 3 moves from now, 10 moves from now. The grandmaster doesn't just see the board as it is, they see the board as it could be. They anticipate, they calculate, they understand that the best move is rarely the most obvious one. This is what life demands of you. Not impulsivity, not reaction, but foresight, the ability to pause, to weigh, to choose, knowing that what you do today ripples into tomorrow and the day after. The philosopher and chess player Benjamin Franklin wrote, "The game of chess is not merely an idle amusement. Several very valuable qualities of the mind are to be acquired and strengthened by it, so as to become habits ready on all occasions." The second lesson: sacrifice is not loss. In chess, you sometimes have to give up a piece to win the game. A knight sacrificed for positional advantage. A queen given up for checkmate. To the untrained eye, sacrifice looks like loss. But the master knows, sacrifice is strategy. Life will ask you to sacrifice. Not always what you want to give, but what you need to let go. A relationship that drains you. A career that looks good but feels wrong. A version of yourself that you've outgrown. The difficulty is that sacrifice feels like failure. You've invested time, energy, identity. Letting go feels like admitting you were wrong. But chess teaches you that holding onto a piece that's no longer serving your position is not strength, it's stubbornness. Sometimes the most powerful move is to release what you're holding, so you can create something greater. The writer and philosopher Henry David Thoreau said, "The price of anything is the amount of life you exchange for it." Chess asks you, what are you exchanging your life for? And are you willing to let go of what no longer serves the larger game? The third lesson: position over power. In chess, the queen is the most powerful piece. She moves in any direction, any distance. But a queen alone cannot win the game. A well-placed pawn, on the other hand, can control the center of the board. A bishop positioned correctly can dominate a diagonal. Position matters more than raw power. This is a truth that school never taught you. School taught you to accumulate degrees, titles, achievements, more. But life asks, where are you positioned? Are you in a place where your strengths can be used? Are you surrounded by people who support your growth? Are you playing on a board that values what you bring? You can be the most talented person in the room, but if you're positioned wrong, your talent doesn't matter. Conversely, someone with less raw ability but better positioning can accomplish what you cannot. Chess teaches you to be intentional about where you place yourself. In your career, in your relationships, in your life, not just accumulating power but positioning it wisely. The Grandmaster Bobby Fischer once said, "Tactics flow from a superior position." When you position yourself well, the right moves become obvious. When you don't, you're always struggling to catch up. The fourth lesson, the middle game, is the longest. In chess, the opening is exciting. The end game is dramatic. But the middle game? The middle game is long. It's patient. It's where most games are won not by brilliance, but by consistency. This is the lesson that school never prepared you for. School was structured into semesters. Clear beginnings, clear endings. A grade, a reward, a conclusion. But life is mostly middle game. Long stretches where nothing dramatic happens, where you show up day after day without applause, where progress is invisible until, one day, it's not. Chess teaches you to value the middle game, to find meaning in the quiet work, to trust that small, consistent improvements compound over time. The grandmaster doesn't win in a single brilliant move. They win by making fewer mistakes over the course of hours, by being slightly more patient, slightly more disciplined, slightly more present when the opponent has already checked out. This is how lives are built, not in moments of inspiration, but in the thousands of ordinary days where you choose to show up anyway. The fifth lesson, you must learn to lose. Here is the lesson no one wants to hear, the lesson that school, especially, tried to protect you from. In chess, you lose a lot. You lose to better players. You lose to worse players when you make a blunder. You lose when you're tired, when you're distracted, when you think you've already won. And losing teaches you more than winning ever could. Chess forces you to sit with your mistakes, to study them, to ask, what did I miss? What assumption did I make? What will I do differently next time? In school, failure was punished. A bad grade meant you weren't good enough. But in chess, failure is part of learning. Every loss is data. Every mistake is a lesson you now carry forward. Life is like this. You will fail. You will be wrong. You will make decisions that cost you. The question is not whether you will lose. The question is, will you learn from the loss? Or will you repeat it? The writer Samuel Beckett wrote, ever tried, ever failed, no matter. Try again, fail better. Chess teaches you to fail better, to lose with grace, to rise from the board, shake your opponent's hand, and sit down to play again wiser than you were before. Conclusion, the game you're already playing. Let's come back to where we started. Chess is 64 squares and 32 pieces, but it's also a mirror. It reflects the game you're already playing, the game of your life. You are making moves every day. Some are intentional, some are reactive, some you don't even realize you're making. Chess asks you to become conscious of your moves, to ask, what's my position? What am I sacrificing? Where am I placing myself? Am I playing the long game or just reacting to the moment? School taught you answers. Chess teaches you questions. You don't need to become a grandmaster to learn its wisdom. You just need to sit at the board, to make a move, to watch what happens, to learn, to try again. The philosopher and psychologist William James wrote, "The art of being wise is the art of knowing what to overlook." Chess teaches you what to overlook, what to protect, what to sacrifice, and what in the end is worth the whole game. You are not a pawn. You are not a king. You are the player, and the board is yours. If this video resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to see their life from a different angle. Subscribe for more deep dives into philosophy, strategy, and the art of living. I'll see you at the board.